Ariana, Mark, Jeffrey, Maddie, Tasha, Josh, Louise, Ben, Jenny, Bloody, Antonio, and JOCELYN have all been sacrificed from the game. Now as we head into our finale, only 4 players remain. CJ, after initially finding himself on the wrong side of the votes, he relied on his social skills to guarantee his safety. Unfortunately, still leaving himself at the bottom.
Let's see how it goes. I might flip.
At the start of day 2, CJ was the only member of GAUNTLET willing to work with a minority, granting himself heavy favor with the early members of the STYX, but voting incorrectly resulted in one of his closest allies leaving the game.
Yeah, that cost... Oh gosh, I should have voted Tracy. Oh, what did I do?
Will the STYX find his game to be the winning game? Aaron, after a poor challenge performance and a close vote at the temple.
And we're tied. That's 3 votes Aaron, 3 votes Maddie, 1 vote left.
She almost found herself among the first players sacrificed from the game. At the start of day 2, Aaron began fostering good social connections with Bloody and Tracy and was in the center of 2 different alliances. She ultimately led the charge on one of the biggest players in the game, but primarily playing under the radar, has the STYX wondering, was she ever truly playing the game?
So if Aaron's there with as much peace and love as possible, I'm gonna be like, why did you apply?
Michael, since the beginning, he displayed a keen sense of perception, keeping himself aware of his position and the large threat of others around him, ultimately playing under the radar.
I'm the wolf in sheep's clothing. I feel like I'm doing a lot more than is being suspected.
Michael stressed the importance of keeping larger threats until the timing was right, later establishing the path forward for the Final 4, and managed to be the only player in the history of Prometheus who has not received a single vote. Despite the notion from the STYX that he wasn't truly playing, will he be able to explain his game at the Ascension ceremony?
Michael, I think, thinks he's outthinking everybody, but I don't think he is. Or at least I'm not impressed by him at all to make up for what he's not doing.
Tracy. At 51 years old, Tracy was the oldest and most inexperienced viewer of reality television. At the start of day 1, she was granted the position of the first ever elder of Prometheus.
That would be me.
As elder, she managed to leverage her position to establish herself socially, and as an honest player who expressed her thoughts about the vote, despite not having any power to do so.
And Tracy can kind of control the flow of the vote sometimes just with her dominating presence.
On day 2, she was voted most likable and managed to continue to play an honest and loyal game to her original team. But will her loyalty prove fruitless to the STYX, who have all felt burned by our inability to work with the minority?
If they send JOCELYN straight out as well, if she doesn't want to mute, they send JOCELYN here. 4 of the 7 jurors are us.
Yeah.
That's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
Find out which player will ascend to join the Pantheon of winners on the season finale of Prometheus, Season of the Elders.
I have to say, I think Erin really pulled it around after she was called out for being under the radar. She was the bloody vote. She did the bloody vote.
Wait, when? Which one?
when you left.
Oh, wait, so she coordinated that?
She said, hey, want to pull a move? I have JOCELYN. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Michael.
Holy shit.
Does that mean she started, or she could have been talking to JOCELYN or Michael who started it?
So I don't know if that was a good move for her, though. I think it was definitely a move, but like her and I were tight as fuck. I think it's definitely gotten her a lot further. I mean, she could have definitely gotten collateral damage had I won immunity, but
I don't see any scenario in which she goes, because I think if you win immunity, there are like 4 other people that would go in front of her.
Yeah.
I just don't see who's going to orchestrate and vote against Erin. Like, I just don't see it.
Welcome, JOCELYN. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Let's just
I was gonna say, whoa.
I'll just calmly enter and we don't have to talk about it.
Jeez.
I would like to say, I am disappointed to see you here, JOCELYN.
Yes. Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to clutch it in knowledge of Apollo if I couldn't.
We were all rooting for you.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I think Mike played a better game than CJ, at least from what I saw. Like CJ, unless he, was just not planning on including me, anytime we had texts or like messaging, he never messaged me for votes. And he wouldn't even try and find me to check in, but he would be talking in the GAUNTLET team chat and stuff. So I don't know if he ever led anything, what he really did, or if he just was like, okay, this is where the others want to go. Let's go with it.
I think I feel like it's hard to compare the games, because I feel like had things gone right for CJ that first initial vote, because he voted for Bloody over me, had Ben not flipped and a tie happened, we don't know what scenario happens in that point of view. But let's just say it goes the way where I stay, hypothetically, he would have been, I think, in a better position, and he would have had the credit for that. So it's difficult because it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
Had he voted for Tracy and tied it when Jenny went out, because he voted for Bloody.
I do have a question about Guyon a little bit. The first vote you guys had was 4-3, right? And it was Matty who left. Well, when I spoke to Michael just after that happened, and when we had the delegation thing, and he said that he was barely in the majority, and I'm assuming that that's not true at all, but he was like, I only just heard about the vote, no one bothered to tell me. And then CJ said he actually was in the minority and that he felt that he was on the bottom of your tribe anyway.
Michael knew. He literally, his last message to me that round was said, let's vote Maddie out and work with Erin.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely didn't tell me that.
So he was in the majority. So he was because it confused me as to why he wouldn't have flipped at that point if he had barely just, and that's why I was like, that's stupid. But CJ flipping makes sense, because if he was felt like he was on the bottom and he was on the bottom, that's his journey so far makes sense to me. But Michael's wouldn't have if that was the truth, and I didn't think it was. I'm just trying to see the rationale for the way, because they did play 2 very different games. I'm I'm probably gonna vote for. Most of us are probably gonna vote for either of the 2 of them. There are some news I need to know why.
I still feel like Erin has a chance with me, at least.
So I feel like there is just something really interesting about her game, where I can actually see, much like you can see kind of the path that Michael or CJ have carved. I'm starting to see the path that Erin has definitely carved for herself.
I can see it, but I feel like for me it's too little too late, because when I think about it, I want to vote for someone who I feel good about. Not in terms of, I don't think she's a lovely person or anything. I don't doubt that she is. She made an effort to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. But when I think about who would I want to represent this, I don't think of Erin. I just don't.
CJ! Gosh, that was Final Four. Let's go. We made it.
Literally challenges. We don't have to vote anybody off the island.
I know. We all deserve to be here. We played the hell out of this.
Here we are in the Final Four. I cannot believe it. JOCELYN was voted out 4-1, and I've managed to make the throughout this entire game without getting any votes. Never once was a target, never once had my name thrown out there. I was able to really play an under the radar, but also a very political and strategic game. And I feel like I had my hands in a lot of cookie jars and I never got caught for it. I just got beaten the cookies. So here I am now. You know, it comes down to a challenge ultimately. And, you know, I have not been performing in challenges. That is my big weakness this season. So
congrats, you guys, though. Wow.
Oh my
Who would have
gosh.
thought us four from the original tribe?
Yeah.
They slept on us, too. All the big players from our tribe got voted out, and we stayed. They slept on us.
And now we don't have to like eat each other up and spit each other out.
Yep. Now
Totally
it's just-
challenge moded.
Everyone's got what they got, and just your fate's in your own hands, and it's gonna be a fun challenge.
So for this, I mean, I'm not familiar with the challenge because I haven't watched, to be honest, I haven't watched the whole series. So for the last, I mean, this one will be like whoever is the last place in the challenge is the final jury.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever loses this next challenge is voted off or is automatically off. No votes.
Oh, okay.
That's brutal.
Hey everyone, it's your boy CJ, and I made it to the final four. Like, who? I can't believe it. Like, I can't imagine I'm here right now, and I've been working my ass to make sure that I stay in the game, I fight, and keep, you know, surviving. If you
Yeah, we
lose,
literally
it's
get a
okay.
group hug here, and there's no more like conniving. We're
I was
like,
gonna say, I can genuinely say that there's no further people I would have wanted to be here with. Like,
I know, right?
I feel like I was definitely, I trusted you guys the most in this game, personally, and I'm really happy we're all here.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm worried about the jury. I feel like they're gonna be coming after.
They're gonna be brutal. Like, I am scared. Like,
They're gonna be
I don't
brutal.
know. I'm just gonna be like, I don't know.
Basically,
Can
whoever
you
they
give
like
me
the
1
most.
second?
Yeah, they're gonna be brutal, like for sure. And you know, whoever of us is there, I would just say don't take it personal. Like,
Yeah.
we just beat them in a game. They're a little bit bitter, and also this is like they've been sitting there for like 5 hours. This is their moment to shine. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous as hell. I don't even know if I want to be top 3. I mean, I want to be top 3, but I don't know if I want the jury coming at me. Like, I'm a little bit scared. We'll see what happens. I don't know what to confess. There's nothing to confess. I made it to the final 4. I'm more frightened of the jury at this point because we were talking about how savage it was in that last little breakout room than, you know, and I'm worried about what this challenge is going to be. I feel a little bit more prepared having watched season 1. I was kind of glad that I binge watched the rest of it last night, but yeah, I guess we'll see. But at least it's a challenge that takes one of us out this time and not a vote.
we made it to every episode, so it'll be cool to watch back. Yeah.
That's
Who
what
would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Certainly not me after I almost got voted out first.
That's right.
You did. You did.
Yeah.
You made it. You made it all the way through.
I'm feeling pretty good. I am hopeful that I am good enough at puzzles and can just pull it out because I would love to be able to argue my case to the jury.
Yep.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck, guys.
Welcome back to the Challenge Grounds, guys. Here to compete for your place in the final 3. So, 4 of you have entered the gauntlet, and only 3 will leave. Here's how it'll work. In a moment, we'll be sending out a link. Through that link, you will have to create a list of the first player sacrificed from the game all the way to the most recent, and in the final box, you will list the 4 names who have made it to the final 4. Once completed, you'll be given the option of completing a 3x3 slide puzzle or a 50-piece jigsaw puzzle. First 3 to complete the challenge will be able to leave the gauntlet, with the last person being the final sacrifice from the game. Prometheans ready. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, no, sorry. I clicked the wrong one. Sorry. I think I clicked the wrong one. Fudge. Oh my gosh, that messed up.
Damn it. Dylan. 3. Yeah.
Louise. Oh my gosh, come on. Then Michael. CJ. Aaron. Done.
Start computer. Oh, Jesus. Oh, come on. Okay. Click and drag. I'm clicking and dragging. There we go. Okay.
And then the last one will be, this will be 7, and 4 is this. Okay, so this needs to go first. Okay, and then, oh shit. Oh wait. Oh shit, okay, done.
Can you check mine, please?
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, there you are? Okay, got it.
All right, Casey. How do I submit?
You have one thing that is incorrect.
Okay. That's that. Is that right?
Oh dear, I hope this was not a mistake. Because those need to be together like that. This was bad. I should have done the other one.
Oh, come on, let me get in the final 3 with no votes. No one ever voted for me. You're crazy, come on.
Oh my gosh, this is nerve-wracking.
Ah, okay, I see what I did. Okay. I am certain that this was not the fastest way to do this, but that's fine. Okay. So then I need... I do actually know how to do slide puzzles. I am just seriously having issues for some reason. Okay, so I just need that one over there.
So we officially have the results. All jury members are here to witness who will be the final sacrifice of the game. In first place, we have Michael. Michael, congratulations. In second place, we have CJ. Congratulations, CJ.
Thank you.
And our final member of the final three is Aaron. Congratulations, Aaron. Tracy, I am sorry, but you are the final member of
Tracy.
the jury.
I am so pleased that I got the score. Now I don't have to get brutally attacked by a jury. I mean, that's a win-win, you know? I mean, I am all okay with that. And it has been so much fun working with you guys. Like, this has been just an amazing experience. Like, I am so happy that I came for this. I am so cool with that.
Great game, Tracy. Great game.
Thanks. Love you guys. I'm so happy for all three of you. I had an amazing time. This was so much freaking fun. Like, I can't get over how much fun this was. Like, yesterday I woke up and I was super nervous, and today I woke up and I was super freaking psyched. Like, I was like, now that I kind of knew the ropes and now that I kind of knew what was going on, and I was so excited when I woke up today. I am just absolutely amazed that I made it to top 4, and I am so okay with that. You know, of course, I would have liked to have seen myself go on to the top 3, but, you know, I was kind of like in the back of my mind preparing. And maybe if I would have chosen the slide puzzle, then I might have been able to get into that top 3. But, you know, I knew I was solid with a jigsaw puzzle. And I thought maybe, I was hoping that one of them would have been bumbling with the order. So that's what I was kind of counting on, was that someone was going to take some more time than I was with the order. If I hadn't screwed up Josh and Tasha, I probably would have been, you know, a couple seconds in front of somebody else. So I don't know, but I am so glad that I got brought into this. This was a blast. My final thoughts are, I think that everyone played a really great game. And I think that I was really glad that I stayed true to myself.
We did it.
Oh my gosh.
Final three. One of us is gonna win. Let's go.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm happy already. Like, if one of us gonna win, like.
Yep. If one of you wins, like, it totally earned it. We all played really good, differently, and
I'm nervous. I'm so nervous for the
Final 3. I am so excited for the chance to plead my case to the jury. I'm a little nervous. I do think that they are going to be a little harsh with me. I definitely think that there was a perception, especially early in the merge, that I was not playing very hard and that I was just riding coattails and just being a follower. So my plan is to kind of lay out the fact that that laying low was a choice and I was getting in with everybody, and while it was frustrating for people who weren't on original Gaian, it was the thing that made the most sense for me, was to go along with the majority until a time came that enough people were whittled down that I felt like I could safely take shots at some of the people that I was working with. I'm also a little nervous. You know, Michael and I worked really closely together. And I know a lot of times if a man and woman are working together and they make it to the end together, that the man gets all the credit. So I do plan to bring that up as well, to just sort of point out that, like, don't just assume that because Michael was maybe a little bit louder that he is the person that was leading everything. I truly think that it was a team effort.
So did you, CJ. You killed it.
Yeah, I tried my best. I mean, I've been panicking the whole time.
We all have. The nerves were running wild.
Hey everyone, for the last time, it's your boy CJ making his final confessional for season 2 of Prometheus. I'm here sitting at the final 3 and I'm super excited, nervous, proud of myself because I was able to make it here. I was able to maneuver my way from Gaian, being, you know, at the minority side or the wrong side of the votes during our first temple, and making my way here in the final 3. So it's been an adventure for me. Like, I would say that this is a one-of-a-kind experience. I mean, it can be cliche, but I haven't had this fun, nerve-wracking experience. So I'm very thrilled to be here, and I hope that I can convince the jury that I should win, or I should become the Prometheus champion of season 2.
We earned it. We definitely deserve to be here. No matter what they say. They have the whole like argument of like, oh, you guys weren't willing to make moves and big moves and take up the threats. It's like, well, now look at us. Like, clearly we did it right because we're here. Like,
yeah.
I get what they're saying about you should have made the moves earlier or whatever to like switch it up, but change isn't always necessarily a good thing. So
this is incredible to be here with 2 people that I really trusted and worked with throughout the game, and that I had their backs completely, and it feels good to be able to say that, I played this game with the people I told I had in Final 2s with. I stuck to it, and I feel like I had more of an influence in the game than anybody else. But no matter how this goes, I know I did everything I could possibly do to get myself here. I never won immunity, but yet never got a vote, never once even came close to getting a vote. And I was able to really control, well, not completely control, but with me and my allies controlled the votes every single time. And while people were getting antsy to jump ship and they wanted to flip this round or not the round early or this or that, I knew that I had to maintain the ship.
Oh man. Who do you think is going to be the worst? I think Louise is going to go hard on us. Jenny, I think, will go hard on us.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect. Like, I'm unsure of like how, like, I don't know how hurt Bloody and Antonio and all of them are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need to think of jury questions as well, by the way.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know what to ask them. Like, can I be like, what's it like hiding behind threats until they're all gone?
Yeah. That's what they all did.
Hey,
Hi,
Tracy.
Hi. Oh, you're
Tracy,
on mute.
wait. Tracy, I must.
That's not what I got. My God.
Look, Tracy, I have to apologize. I was the one who voted for you.
It's okay.
It wasn't CJ. Because he voted for Bloody, and I claimed his vote. And since I was so public about it, he kind of like, I don't know, was frazzled.
Yeah, did he ever like come to you and go like, dude, like you did not do that? Like, why are you saying that?
No, he never said anything to me.
That's so funny.
No, because for him, he got to pretend like he was making the vote that he said he was making to people. Like, he kind of, it put him in that perfect position where each of the other halves of the votes thought that he had voted with them.
Mm-hmm. You know, I gotta know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I gotta know from him why the fuck he voted me there. Like, I still don't get that.
That made no sense. That made no sense.
So what are we thinking, guys? I mean, like, what are we, so we're down to Aaron and Michael and CJ. I mean, is there anyone that we definitely don't want to see win? I mean, like, is that like a right out the gate?
I've been open that I don't know enough about Aaron's game, nor am I impressed enough.
I don't want Aaron to win.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I am trying to go in open because there's obviously aspects to their games that I did not get, seeing as they voted me out. I will definitely go in open, although I think I'm leaning between Aaron and Michael, just based on how they had interacted with me in the game.
I would love to hear Erin just kind of explain her game from beginning to end at a minimum, to just see what her thought process was, you know, like starting as someone who was called out for being under the radar, and then once that's called out, when, like, you know, just kind of explain and have her tell us how much was intentional and how much.
I think her game was really a lot of forming allies to make sure that she was safe. You know, I mean, really like building numbers on her side. And as long as they weren't voting against her, she was cool, you know?
Yeah.
So she was just trying to build people up with her to vote the same person. And I think that was pretty much what like her main goal was. I don't think, I mean, I guess I would consider that to be her strategy.
For me, I feel like between the three of them, Michael is like, he maybe was with the right people, saying the right things, and he was like a part of the conversations and the plans.
Well, I'll start off and say I don't really think I will be voting Erin. I want to give her a fair shot, and I will listen to what she has to say. She could blow me away, but I do not see that happening. I really have not been privy to much of Michael's game, nor very impressed with what I have seen. So I'm really, really interested to see what he says. Presently, I'm just more leaning towards voting CJ because he at least showed an effort to try and kind of go against the grain. And personally, as a player, I mean, you guys can all see this personally, I lean more that way as well, and I really enjoy seeing a game played like that has gotten someone to the end. So I think personal preference wise right now I would lean CJ, but I do need to hear from Michael before I make any decisions, counting out games or counting in games.
I don't know who asked Michael the question, when are you going to start playing the game? Does anybody?
That was me.
That was you.
I just wanted to know, and I mean, he proved me right, didn't he?
Yep. And yeah. I think that might have been his strategy the whole time.
Yeah.
But like, I think that there's something to be said about riding coattails. Like it works clearly. He's top three. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But did he fight for it, or did he coast into it?
I don't know how many other people he reached out to, but he reached out to me, but then did a really smart job of never committing officially to turning on any of you guys.
Yeah.
So he would build relationships, but not betray you.
That's so interesting.
He did that with me as well last night.
I mean, I think he wins probably my favorite, most honest player. You know, I mean, does that necessarily make you like the winner of the game? I don't. To
that point, I don't know if I like that per se. I think that just comes off to me as way skeevier. I have so much more respect for making a big move and taking that step. And I think just like half going, half not doesn't do much for me.
So first of all, I just want to say thank you, jurors, for staying up to this time. It's been a crazy day for us. Especially like after everything what happened. Like blindsides, the challenges. So I'm very grateful that you guys are still. We're complete, so that's very nice. So I'm just gonna make it quick because I only have 3 minutes. So I just want to have 3 points to give it to you why I should become the next Prometheus champion. First is I am a risk taker. You may not have seen it, but I have pulled this risk of like, oh, I'm gonna side with the Aaron tribe. Once we with the merge, I was like, I'm gonna side with them. I'm gonna be like flipping the votes. But as you can see, I didn't do it. I wasn't able to execute it because I didn't have the numbers. But for me, I'm proud of that because I was able to take that risk. Like to be honest, I in the first few rounds, I voted out Bloody. Like I voted her for the first because I want her out. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to have like this plan, but you don't have the numbers. Like people are saying, oh, you're not like, this is not the right time. Or I was like very frustrated. That's why I was willing to work with someone who wants to make the move, like, Jennifer and JOCELYN. I was like, okay, let's make a move. But the thing is, we aren't able to do it, which kind of sucks because I was like very frustrated in my confessional that I wasn't able to execute them. So that was my first point, risk taker. Second one is I was able to build closer bonds. Like me and Michael, we have like a duo here at the beginning. We're like, oh, we're gonna be at the end together. We're gonna work together. He got my back, I got his back. So I was able to got that, duo. After Maddie went home, I was like, damn, like I was probably the lone wolf here, but like Michael's here. So I was able to reconnect and build those strong connections. And as well as with Erin, I didn't expect that we're going to work together after I voted her out in the first tribal council of our Gaian tribe. So I was like, damn, I was able to, make it work. And I'm proud of myself on that. The third point is I was able to face my fear of communication. As you all know, you might have noticed that I'm not very good at, speaking, because I'm not gonna English is not my first language, so I'm trying my best to articulate myself, like, okay, how do I need to convince the people that I'm working with? Like, I want to be careful with my words because sometimes I'm getting misunderstood. Maybe my being like awkwardness or like being silly with the words. So I'm trying my best to
Well, first of all, I adore all of you and have loved this time playing with each and every one of you, even those that I didn't get to chat with as much and didn't get to work with as closely. I know that early in the merge, I was accused of playing under the radar and not playing and just being a follower. And I will say that all of the decisions I made, I was making with purpose. I know that it was really frustrating for all of the Aeron people that we were just taking them out one after another. I know that's frustrating, but I was working with Bloody and Bloody trusted me, and I was not ready to get rid of her. I knew that if we left too many of the Aeron people in the game, that it was going to be too easy for them to start pulling other people, and then eventually I would be in danger of getting voted out. When we decided to make the flip, it was actually, so Michael and I have been working together pretty closely since the beginning as well. And when we decided to make the flip, I went to him and I said, I want to make a big move. I think this is the time that we need to get out Bloody. And so then I went to Antonio and JOCELYN as well, who I had been working with, and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking, managed to maneuver it away from Michael and CJ, who were the other group of people that I was working with. So I was playing in the middle the whole time, and I think that I did a pretty good job. People weren't aware of me, and it came off as under the radar and not doing anything, but that's a choice. I think one of the most important things about leadership is knowing when the time is to make a move, when the time is to speak up. And I found that time and decided to make the move, and then just kept going with that. When I got towards the end, I knew that, so there was Antonio and JOCELYN, and there was CJ and Michael, and then there was Tracy. And I knew that Antonio and JOCELYN were the challenge threats. And so I, wanted to work with Antonio, but I knew that he was going to beat me if we had a trivia challenge. And I wanted to be able to win the Eternal Flame for myself. And so I decided, you know what, I should vote him out and then maybe I can win. And it worked. So I think that timing is everything in this game. And I managed to make my moves at the right time, and I managed to peak at the right time, winning that final 5 Eternal Flame, and then I won my way here at the final 4 as well. So thank you guys for your time. I'm looking forward to answering your questions.
All right, first off, shout out to the production team. This is honestly like the most fun experience I've ever had. I did not realize it was going to be this crazy and this intense. I feel like I just went through like 3 weeks of Survivor, not 2 days. But to the jury, I want to give an overview of my strategy coming into this. I was planning on, being like a leader, trying to play hard and be aggressive as a player. But I quickly realized that there was other people that were taking that spot in the game. So I quickly navigated to under the radar. I was like, all right, I'm just going to play up that I don't know exactly what's going on, that I'm not in the in crowd. In reality, I made a final 2 with CJ right off the bat and Aaron right off the bat. And now we're in the final 3 because I felt like throughout the game, I was able to navigate the close bonds that I had with other people on my starting tribe, like Tracy, like Antonio, like Bloody, to, keep the ship going in the right direction. So when the merge hit, there was definitely people in our alliance that were, or in our tribe, original tribe, that wanted to flip, specifically on Bloody. And while I did not know that Bloody was secretly plotting against me, I did know that in this game, it is smart to have a shield in front of you as long as possible. So while the original Aeron might not have liked that the moves were just them, when it's not fixed, or when it's not broken, don't fix it. And I knew that if we were to be the original tribe towards the end, my spot within the tribe, I felt really confident that I would be able to get myself here with the people that I wanted to be here with. You're only as strong as your allies. I could definitely not be here without Aaron's amazing help throughout the season and CJ's as well. But I feel like the game that I played was, I was eating all the cookies in the cookie jar, but somehow I never got my hand grabbed. No one ever targeted me. I never had immunity at all this season. And yet I never had a vote cast against me. I don't remember my name even being really thrown out there that much at Tribal to go home as well. And I do know that some people said that my game was, when am I gonna start playing the game? And to me, like, that was the moment when I realized, like, okay, maybe not everybody is seeing what I'm doing, and I wanted to roll with that. And that's why I continued to play the way that I did. And I'm just really grateful for all you guys. I felt like this was just an amazing group of people to get to play with. And I hope you know that there was absolutely nothing personal, any kind of a vote out. I tried to be as honest as I possibly could. I did lie to a couple people at times when I absolutely had to prevent there being any kind of backlash against my game. So with that said, thank you guys all. And again, thank you, production. This was amazing.
I decided to create everybody in The Sims and torture them slowly because I was very angry. That's how I get my anger out. And I decided to, I moved, luckily Ben and Jenny were very lucky with the next two boots, and they got moved directly over to my mansion on the ocean side. But the rest of you decided to kill in order of how annoyed I was. Michael, you were first. I'm not gonna lie, you were first. I was like, this little bitch. I can't believe he did it. I've seen him do this so many times, and he did it to me. After saying he wanted to work with me, he votes me out, doesn't care. And I knew you did, and I was like, oh, okay. So I killed you off. And then in the middle, roundabout in the middle, I killed off Erin because I was just like, why am I getting targeted for this gameplay when she's playing, honestly, more under the radar than I am? Because I had not even barely spoken to you for a minute, less than a minute. And it was so obvious that you were working with people and in this big structure, and you were probably in the middle of that structure. And I was like, and here I am in the minority, and then she comes along and she gets to go further, and now you're in the final three. So I was like, I'm gonna kill you off. And then you were all in this room, and there was no lights, and there was no windows and no doors. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna teleport CJ out of this room. He did me no harm. Much respect, and I feel that. So that's my perception. So now you know how I feel and how I felt after my vote out. And now I wanted to play the age-old game of close your eyes. All three of you, close your eyes, because I'm gonna do it. You're used to it. And I'm gonna say each member of the jury. And if you think that juror will vote for you, I want you to raise your hand. Simple. So, Louise, who's gonna get Louise's vote? Okay. Who's gonna get Ben's vote? Yes, okay. Who's gonna get Jenny's vote? Okay. Who's gonna get Bloody's vote? Okay, interesting. Me trying to remember the order. Who's gonna get Antonio's vote? Okay. I think JOCELYN was next, so who's gonna get JOCELYN's vote? Okay, and who's gonna get Tracy's vote? Okay, that's interesting. Thank you very much for your time. And you're welcome for my time, which is obviously so precious.
Okay, awesome. I don't know if I have really any questions, honestly. I just have a couple of observations that I hope will explain where my head's at. Aaron, I was really impressed with your speech, actually. I thought I went into jury really not seeing any of the game you played, and even those first couple temples viewing from the jury, I honestly still struggled to see what your game was. But I think your speech really was illuminating only thing is for me, I think your moves were just too little too late. And in the end, I also think I'm going to throw that onto Michael a little bit. Michael, you said that in terms of voting us off, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think you're right to a sense, but you guys playing all the safe moves, really, I struggled to see why I should be passionate about that or why I should want to. And I definitely am biased because like I was sent home because of it. But the real person who like impressed me was CJ. I enjoyed the fact that he was willing to take risks, willing to consider working with us. I know, Michael, part of your strategy was kind of making everybody seem like you would work with them, but then kind of swerving a little bit and not doing that. And I think that's really brilliant if it comes off well, but to me, that just kind of came off as like spineless a little bit. I much prefer somebody who's going to take a stance and say, no, Ben, I'm voting you out, or somebody who's going to say, no, let's talk about it. Let's work together. And that's just a personal preference for me. And the other thing I wanted to say is what I enjoyed about CJ is he was able to take those risks and course correct. I think that's the most important part of CJ's game. And that's what it's impressed me the most out of any of you three. CJ was able to vote for Bloody. He was able to work with us and talk with us, and it didn't noticeably impact his standing amongst your guys' alliance at all. CJ spent the whole time, in my eyes, and I think in Jenny's eyes and Louise's eyes a little bit, pretty openly trying to work with us, and yet never once did that seem to have repercussions for your alliance in terms of him. So barring further answers that change my mind, I think that's why CJ is going to receive my vote tonight. Sorry that I didn't really have any questions, but I wanted to kind of talk through why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And regardless of how Ben votes, all three of you guys played really brilliantly. And I think there's valid arguments for everyone. So thank you guys. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Would you allow us a response? If not, that's okay.
Go for it. Yeah, you can say response.
Well, so what I just wanted to say is that CJ maybe took risks, but they didn't work. And I think part of this game is making sure that you have the people to make the risks work. And then the other part of it is I know that Michael and I were both protecting him, and his name was out a lot, and we decided to keep him around because we felt like he was someone that we could work with. So, I mean, maybe you say, well, that's CJ's great social game, but I also think that that is good strategy from myself and from Michael.
I think that's totally fair. But personally, that just sounds like to me, CJ knew exactly that he had the protection. He had to go for it and try to make those risks. And like I said, personally, I preferred seeing those risks being tried and taken than kind of the safer moves. And that's definitely going to be personal preference amongst the jurors, but that's really where I lie. But thank you for saying that.
Could I address mine as well, Ben? If that's okay? Okay, cool. Yeah. So you said what I was doing was spineless, and I totally get where you're coming from. The idea of me pretending or wanting to hear people out as far as the votes. But my counter to that would be if I go and I tell you, no, I'm not going to vote with you, then that puts a target on my back for you. You know that I'm not someone that's going to be willing to vote with you. And I intentionally, especially during the Bloody and Luis vote, during the Jenny vote, I did not commit to anything. I never once in the earlier vote said I'm doing this or I'm not doing this. My goal was to keep the people that I knew that I could trust completely that would help me get to this spot here in the game. And to do that, I had to pretend like I was open to things that I wasn't really open to essentially fake out the other side and not give you enough time to actually go for people that might be willing to vote with you. So that was the reason why I did it. And I totally understand that it comes off as like wishy-washy or fake. I just feel like there was an intentional strategy behind it for me, and that's why I played that way.
And that's totally fair, but it left a sour taste in my mouth nonetheless. But thank you.
I understand.
Hello. Good job, everybody, on making it to the end. Congratulations for all of you. So I'm gonna make this a little simple. So I feel like, Michael, you tried to like at least pretend to work with me, and that was okay. Aaron, you did reach out to like be nice and say some pleasantries and things like that, but no game talk at all. Michael, no game talk. CJ, yes. Like, good job on getting here. I'm so freaking proud of you. I honestly believe CJ deserves this because he made mistakes, and when you make mistakes, but you can like come back from those mistakes and like take risks, and like even if it doesn't work out, you're still like not like the target. Like, I think that's a huge for a game like this. And also, CJ and I actually like know each other from outside the game, if nobody knows that. And we were able to keep it on the down low, and like he never like let that slip, or nobody knew. So like that's also like really good on you, and I mean me, but I'm not, in the final. I really appreciate, even if we didn't know each other, I do believe like he would have, he would work with other people. That's what I've seen in his other games. Like, he would work with other people and like, switch things up, or like, and I appreciate that, especially coming from a tribe where like you're always scrambling, you're always like struggling. And I appreciate somebody that understands the struggle and the underdog story. I think that's way more interesting and more deserving than coasting and feeling very comfortable. I'm sorry if that make like hurts your guys' feelings, but that's how I view it. And if it's going to be like a tribe, so like you guys know that like the people, like Iran is going to be the majority in the jury. So like, what are you doing by like not trying to work with us, or like giving us hope, or giving us a lifeline? That doesn't make sense. So if it's gonna be still like a tribe thing, like I would just say Iran, like let's vote for CJ. Sorry, I'm a little salty still, but yeah, I mean, I understand, Aaron, Michael, I understand your gameplay, but I don't think it deserves this win for this season. And I think it's CJ that deserves it, because he understands the struggle, he understands fighting and climbing his way out of situations and bobbing and weaving and like working it, right? So that's what I think deserves the win, and that's what I appreciate. Yeah. I don't have any questions. I'm sure other people have questions, but I don't have any.
Can I just say something with that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
I mean, for me, like, yeah, I haven't told anyone about Jennifer and I's connection. So at the bat, like, I'm not gonna pick her in the schoolyard pick because I don't want us to be like, seen as a duo. So I was hoping,
yeah, that's another thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was hoping that we can, make it to the merge. And then during I think there's a delegation cycle where I'm able to talk to her, and JOCELYN's like, oh my God, this is the perfect time because Matty just got voted out and I want to like switch sides, hopefully in the future. So I was like, oh, thank God that I was able to talk to both of you. I know it didn't work out. Like, I was like trying to talk to people that, oh, we should, vote Bloody. I was like, Bloody. It's like, oh no, I can't vote her out. And at the third time I was able to do it. So, but it was too late. It was too late that my allies are already gone. So yeah, what I need to do is, stick to my Gaian. Like Michael was very loyal to me. So I'm gonna be like plan B, be with my Gaian, especially with my duo Michael. So
yeah, exactly. And you brought your duo to the end. So you guys helped each other, but honestly, like, you struggled the most and you got out of it. So yeah, Iran is the majority here. You guys didn't think about that. That's all I have to say.
Can I just say, I'm actually kind of upset at the jury right now, or the STYX. This is a questioning ceremony, and I know that Casey has given us the free-for-all to do whatever we want, including muting people, but it's not a CJ ceremony. I just want to get that out there. But first off, CJ, I know that you say you're a risk taker, but you voted wrong in the Aaron vote.
Yes.
And then, please mute yourself until I'm done. And then you voted wrong to vote me out and inadvertently sent home your pre-existing relationship in Ginny rather than tying the vote. And you couldn't even get the votes together for me until Aaron initiated it and Michael backed it. So I'm just wondering, how am I supposed to credit you with that move?
I'm not saying that it's solely my move. Like I contributed to that move because I was able to finally, third time's a try. Like I'm gonna, able to take Bloody out because at the very first in the merge, to be honest, like when you guys keep me instead of just like, oh my gosh, they keep me and I'm gonna flip with the other side. So I was like, oh, this is a good chance for me to be like, when the merge hits and then I'm gonna be able to talk to the Aaron tribe because I am the minority. I feel minority in our Gaian tribe, so I can relate to the Aaron tribe. So that's why I try. I understand that you should not give all the credit to me. For your boot because I was just one vote to that, but that vote was important to me because it was like, for me it was like a success that I was able to take you out, even though it's not like solely my move, but it's not like any personal, like game level. I was like impressed, like how Bloody was able to survive. I'm gonna have to mute you or
just wrap it. Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, and I appreciate that. I don't know if you kind of understood what I was getting at. Okay, and then Michael, I do want to say, as a savage question asker, I didn't mean for you to take that question so literally so soon. But I applaud you for playing your own game. And I think that there's something really interesting about seeing you and Aaron. And so I'm opening this to both of you, and I would love to hear from both of you, because I know that so much of this final three is made up of final twos, right? And specifically you two, I find that I have trouble kind of differentiating your game. So I would love to hear from Michael and from Aaron. What is one thing that differentiates your game that you that you kind of like hold in high regard?
You want to go first, Aaron, or do you care if I do? I'll just go. I think one major thing that differentiates myself is that I was really bringing people into the votes. I do 100% agree that Aaron was the one that said your name, Bloody, but I was already thinking it. Like I was thinking steps ahead of what I wanted to do. So while yes, someone else might have suggested it, it wasn't like I was just agreeing with what someone else said. I think something that differentiates what I was doing was I was bringing people together that weren't really voting to, like Tracy and CJ, for example. They were voting each other out over and over. And I was able to help bring us all together to the final four. Similarly with CJ and Aaron, I feel like I was a lot of the glue of our ship, so to speak, that got here. And I think that's something that if I wasn't here, I do not think the game would have gone as well. I think that Iran would have had a lot more control at the merge, and they probably would have flipped everything.
And for me, I think it was, deciding Bloody to get you out over JOCELYN, and then also towards the end there where I was playing the middle with JOCELYN and Antonio and Michael and CJ, and just floating between making sure that I was good with everybody and that it wasn't going to get turned on me.
Got it. Also, one final point of clarity. Michael, you said that I was plotting against you?
Antonio told me that you were plotting against me after you had already left, so I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, valid. Antonio said a lot of shit to me too.
Damn, Antonio.
Alrighty, I have limited time. So when I ask you a question, you get 20 seconds to answer and then you're muted. So I will start with CJ. You talked about taking risks and flipping on the other side, but when you had the chance to do it with Jennifer's vote, you kind of wasted it by voting for Bloody. Unless I was told incorrectly by Jenny, which, could have been a possibility, you were in the know that that vote was Tracy that round, but still voted Bloody. Why should you be rewarded with the win when you wasted that opportunity that could have drastically changed the game and put you in a better place? Additionally, I claimed your vote for Bloody, and that put the blame on you, or the blame for the Tracy vote on you. Why did you let me take that? Why did you let me claim that vote and put you in that position where others were now targeting you because of it.
Okay, I'm just gonna make it real quick. So I actually voted Bloody, because I thought like we don't have the numbers. Like I'm gonna be like a fool to be voting out Tracy, and then it's gonna be Tracy's gonna stay. So I just throw a vote with Bloody because I cannot vote Jennifer and Jocelyn. I was like, no, I cannot vote both of them at that time.
Can we go to the second question?
Okay,
I'll give you 20 more seconds.
Okay, second.
Why'd you let me claim your vote?
Okay, because you have immunity, Dara, and if I say that, oh, Antonio's lying, it's like, oh, I mean, he's gonna be like painting the target on me because he has immunity, so I cannot claim that. So I was like surprised when you claimed that, because I was like, yes, someone's claiming that my bloody vote. So I hope that no one notices that I stray. So I'm just happy that you did it.
And that pointed the finger towards you for the Tracy vote. Then, what did you do to stop those rumors?
Sorry, which one? The Tracy vote?
My Tracy vote was then pinned on you. What did you do to stop that?
Oh, I just said Jenny, like deny. Like I was looking at Tracy like, Jenny. It's like, oh my gosh, is Tracy gonna find out that I'm voting her? Because she's very good at like discriminating.
That's enough, thank you. Sorry, I got limited time. On to Michael. Michael, I laid a lot of seeds with you, and I misted you a lot, as I did for the rest of the cast. If you weren't aware, I am a snake. No matter how much I tried to claim I wasn't, I was. That like the things like me telling you Bloody was targeting you, that CJ voted for Tracy, you confirmed both of those with your jury speech and answering Bloody's question. Proved to me that you had a better grasp on the game than the lies I told you, and how you were able to get information on your own. I do have another question after that as well.
100%. That's a great question. I think I was able to get a lot of information from other people because I'm assuming Aaron and then also CJ told me more information than they told anybody else, and probably Tracy as well, because I felt like with all of them, I was extremely close. So I was able to get information from all sides, as well as yours. And I think while you did give me, I will agree, the most information, I think I was able to get other information to kind of help me form my own decisions.
Okay. How'd you put that to work?
Okay, one example of how I put it to work was at Final 7, me, Aaron, and CJ were in a 3-person breakout room. All the other 4 of you guys were there. And I laid out the exact boot order of what needed to happen to get us 3 here. And it's exactly what happened.
Sounds good. Thank you. I'm limited on time. Aaron, I don't have a question for you, but I have something that I think the jury is missing. And that is you were able to control me. I had a really good grasp on this game, I feel. That's what Bloody said in her speech. She didn't name me, but I knew she was talking about me being the one in control. You forced my hand and made me vote Bloody, the person I needed in the game. Not just wanted, but I needed her in the game to keep myself in the game. If Bloody was still there, I probably had a chance to squeeze by, but you were the one who was able to turn that tide. You got me to say I was going to do Bloody. You got Michael, at least from my perspective, you got Michael to do it, you got JOCELYN to do it, and yourself. That was the 4 minimum needed to get Bloody out there. So I just want the jury to recognize that you did have a massive impact in the late game, just because without it, Bloody could have survived. She could have maybe, wormed her way out. Someone else left. I could have survived. I wasn't able to. JOCELYN could have survived. She wasn't able to. The big 3 targets at the end of the game all went out because of the domino effect you started, and I think the jury needs to do a better job at recognizing that. Thank you very much.
So congratulations, all 3 of you. CJ, Antonio kind of just asked my question, but I'll swerve a little bit on it. In that vote where Jenny went home, you said that you knew we didn't have numbers. It would have tied, kind of irrelevant at the end of the day, but can you share a little bit what your criteria was very quickly on what you thought were the numbers? Because I think that had things gone very slightly different in a lot of those, one more person might have been the numbers, and that one especially could have gone very, very differently. So what information were you using? How did you decide that we didn't have the numbers in that vote?
So for that vote, I was hoping that JOCELYN, you, Jen, and Michael, and I myself will vote out Tracy. But when I went to another breakout room, I heard Michael saying that, oh, I'm not gonna vote out Tracy. I was like, oh no, the plan is not is not already in place. So me and Michael were supposed to vote together, and we're doing this signal thing in the tribal council where we take out one of the earpods. We're gonna vote our plan A. If not, I'm gonna keep it. So I did one. I take it out. You can see it in the edit that I take one. I was waiting for Michael to do it, and it's like, oh no, Michael is not doing the plan. So I stick it up, and I was like, oh no, I'm not sure who's gonna vote. So I just throw a vote on Bloody.
Thank you. Really quickly, which one of you came up with that plan to signal even when you could?
Michael. It was Michael.
Thank you. Aaron, you called CJ out for being protected by others, but you also noted in your speech that you were protected by others. What to you is the difference between the protection that you were granted and the protection that he was granted by others?
I don't think that there is a difference necessarily, but I think that all of the Aaron people are like sort of, praising CJ and his game, and it's because he was willing to work with them. And I think, it worked for me. Doing what I did worked for me, and it got me here. So I feel like if you're comparing me and CJ, well, I helped protect CJ to get him here. It's my choice that CJ's here. I don't know that he protected me. Other people certainly did protect me, but I think if you're comparing the two, that was just the point that I wanted to make.
Okay. And Michael, you said that you were thinking Bloody's name multiple steps ahead of Aaron, and that's the difference. But you were in multiple conversations each step of the way and chose not to go Bloody. So what about the time when Aaron brought it up was the one time in your head that you actually meant it versus all of the other times that you had those conversations?
That's a great question. So two things. One, I did not want to vote Bloody out anytime right after the merge because she was the big shield. If people were voting for her every time, that means they weren't coming towards me. And the second reason is because the reason why it was final 7 was because up until that point, there was, especially with the Ben vote, who I had no relationship with, and the Jenny vote, who had thrown out my name and I knew I could not trust. Why would I vote out Bloody, who is a shield, someone that I've worked with, someone that I have a good relationship with, over someone like Jenny, who I have no relationship and Curly wants me out of the game? I was not worried about her winning 4 immunities in a row. I didn't understand the pressure about voting her out immediately because Antonio was out here beasting every challenge. So it wasn't like it was like a huge timing thing. And like I said, timing is the most important part of this game. And if you shoot too early, it's going to backfire. And I didn't shoot too early. Aaron didn't shoot too early. And that's why we're here.
So Aaron made that shot though by calling it out. Is there anyone who can corroborate that you thought that was the correct timing as opposed to Aaron saying it and you agreed with it?
Right. I think already ahead of time with CJ and with Aaron individually, when we had time to message or chat, it was a pretty good idea of, hey, we're going to be flipping on Bloody. The time needs to be right. Did I necessarily say it's going to be final 7? And then no. But before that, when Aaron said let's vote Bloody out at final 7, I was already thinking that it was between you or Bloody at that point. And I had finally started talking game with you, and it made more sense because we were a fresh relationship, and Bloody had other more connected relationships. I would rather take out what I perceived as more of a dangerous threat to the game, to my game at least, at that time. So to answer your question, no, not exactly. I can not corroborate that is completely true, but it is the truth.
Okay. I cede the rest of my time. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. I mean, it was pretty cool being up with, it was an honor being the fourth and not losing to a vote. But my time, I want to spend it wisely. So I clearly, it's very obvious to me, especially now after listening to everyone speak, a lot of this jury is going to be, pro CJ. I want to hear from Michael and Aaron. I want to hear why those people, the people on the jury who are clearly going to vote for CJ, I want to hear why you think that they should vote otherwise. I mean, especially with Michael, you've been accused of not really playing the game. You've been accused of, laying low. Aaron, you've been accused of being under the radar. I want to hear you convince, one at a time, convince this jury why they should vote that you should be the winner and not CJ, because you didn't give them, you didn't play both sides of the fence. You were tribe loyal up into the bitter end, which was what got you here, and it's what got all four of us. Well, it's what got 3 out of 4 of us here. So I want to hear what your thoughts are on. I want to hear you try to convince them that you deserve to be the winner and that you deserve their vote over how they're clearly leaning towards CJ. And go ahead, Michael, you can start.
Okay, thanks, Tracy. I'll start with Louise. First off, I want you to know when I said I wanted to work closely with you last night after the first day, I 100% genuinely meant that. Worst case scenario for me was you being the target. I didn't even know you were the target until Tribal Council started and Bloody started saying your name. And at that point, I realized, oh shit, like I'm either gonna have to vote out someone on the other tribe that I made a secret alliance with who was gonna be able to protect me while I protected them, or I had to turn on my entire tribe and essentially start the downfall of my game. So that's why I voted you out. I want you to know it was not, yes, I have made fake deals before. That was not one of them, or intended to be. Jenny, I believe that, I think the problem we had here was that we never really had that trust. And while I do understand why you threw my name out there, I want you to understand that for me, I saw you as a very strategic player. When you stepped up during the Bloody and Louise vote and said you wanted to throw another name out there, or does any other names to protect the 2 people that you were clearly wanting to keep in the game, to me, that instantly was like, okay, Jenny has balls. Like, I know that she's going to be willing to say whatever she has to get people to vote with her. So for me, taking you out was intentional because I was trying to eliminate any sort of counterattack to my game.
30 seconds, Michael.
Okay, yep, sorry. And then Ben, I just honestly straight up had no relationship with you throughout the game because we were never in a room together. Like, nothing ever happened. But as far as your jury vote, I would appreciate it if you consider everything I've done today, because while we didn't get to talk, I played this game so hard. I got like no sleep 2 nights in a row. I'm exhausted, but I want you to know that I put everything into this, and I would really appreciate if you consider that. Thank you.
Right. Aaron. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, so after the merge, I was very intentionally being very publicly, I'm with Bloody, I'm with Tracy, and I never intended to, for that to be the, where I was going to the end. So, Aaron, I know that it's really frustrating to you that that it ended up you guys just got picked off one after the other. But it made sense for me to work with the people that were the targets out in front, and that also I knew trusted me. I knew that Bloody trusted me. I knew that Tracy could always be, she was going to say whatever was on her mind, and I could, work with that and work around that. Yeah, Jenny, I just think that you were very strategic and you were saying my name, and there was just not really a reason to keep you over somebody that I was pretty sure was not going to come after me, at least not on the short term. And so I guess I feel a little bit like CJ is being rewarded for not being able to make moves, which is frustrating. And you keep sort of putting it on like, well, why did you let CJ get here? Why did you let CJ get here? But I wasn't going to beat Antonio with all of the great playing that he was doing. JOCELYN wasn't a member of Original Aaron. I couldn't take her to the end either. So it's intentional, the way that I played.
Thanks, guys.
I'm losing my voice. Anyways, I just wanted to say, I played this game as absolutely hard as I could. I did it in a way that I didn't expect to play this game. I didn't expect to be someone that was labeled as not playing or under the radar. That's not my usual strategy, but I was able to adapt to it because it was the best course of action for my own game, and I got myself here my own way. I did every single thing that I wanted to. I never voted in the minority. I was in the majority every single time. I was never voted for. I was never targeted. I never was safe at challenges. I won the Final Four challenge to get myself here, and I played as every single decision I wanted to happened, whether I was the one that said it or not. You cannot be here without your allies, but I just want to say I appreciate all of you. I'm also, if I'm not making sense, I'm straight up delirious at this point, so I'm sorry. But straight up, this was such a fun experience. Thank you again for having me, Casey, and the rest of production. Amazing time. And good luck, Aaron and CJ, because you guys were both amazing to play with as well.
So I know that I came off as playing under the radar, and I was playing under the radar. I think that when you are a woman playing this game and when you are someone that comes across as nice, which is I think how I come across as like quiet and kind and compassionate, not to say I'm not all of those things, But I think that then the perception is, oh, well, she's not really playing. But I think coming across that way, for me, it was a choice. I was like, I'm coming in, I'm not going to be way out in front. I'm going to align myself with people that I think will get taken out in front of me, and I'm going to put myself in the middle as much as possible. So I think I said it in an earlier temple that just because you don't always see what's happening doesn't mean that the little doggy paddle legs under the surface are not moving. So I have played really hard, and it has been such a joy to play with this game with all of you. So thank you guys so much.
For this, I've been playing like a minority, like, in Guyana was, on the minority at that. I'm in the bottom of the totem pole. So coming into the merge, I was like, oh, I'm willing to work. I'm willing to take risks, even though it might, paint me as like, oh, you're lying. Like you are, you didn't vote for whoever you want. You lied to me like that. So I was like, I'm willing to get that. Like, I'm willing to receive that criticism if in case it happens. So I was able to take those risks. It failed. I didn't do a flawless game, to be honest. Like, I made mistakes, I made errors, but at the same time, I was able to pick it up. Like, oh, here, Michael is here, Erin is here. We can still work it together and make it to the top. So I'm thinking this high risk, I hope I get high rewards for this. If not, I'm already, blessed that I'm here with you guys and I'm able to make it to the top. So yeah.
Congratulations to everybody. My vote is going to be for CJ to win because he struggled throughout his game and he still made it to the end, and I know personally that is really difficult to do. And he was still loyal to the people that he was loyal to, and brought him to the end. Like that's also like a huge thing as well.
I think I'm going to vote for the person who I think beat me. Not just making it past me in placements and the game, but the person who took control away from me. I felt I had this game in a chokehold, and you were the person that I thought loosened that. So congratulations. I hope the rest of the jury sees what you've done. I hope they reward you for that, and I wish you the best of luck.
This is going to be a tough one. Everybody's automatically Team CJ. I don't know. I think I'm Team Michael. I think he played a better game than we realize. I think he also played true to himself, and I don't think that, I don't know, when I asked Erin to convince the Aarons and the people who were Team CJ why she should win, I didn't hear an answer in there. There was no answer in there. Michael literally was going through the Aarons and explaining himself, and I respected that. And I think I'm going to vote Michael. I do. I think Michael was an ally from the very beginning, and I would like to see him win.